So today I'll show you around my kitchen, what's in the cupboards, where I keep the water and what cooking equipment I have. So the kitchen was originally on the passenger side by the sliding door. After about 2 years of using it like this, I decided it was too big and it made it too awkward to get in and out of the car. So I thought I'd move it to the driver's side, and it's now behind the driver's seat. So one of my main priorities in the kitchen is being able to make a cup of tea when the bed's made. I keep a little shelf above the kitchen that's got all my tea making essentials for first thing in the morning. And underneath the shelf is just a little USB touch on and off light. Now a lot of people don't bother with a sink in a micro camper. I find it handy just for cleaning your teeth, washing your hands off, and just rinsing small items. And this little bowl I found in Lidl, it was only £1 and it fits in there perfectly. Behind the sink I've got a little dispenser that holds some hand wash, my toothbrushes and my USB rechargeable tap. Next to this I've got a little tea tray, my draining board mat, and also I've got a little silicone mat in case you need to put something hot down. Now I'm not a fan of cooking indoors, but sometimes it's handy to be able to have that option, with the great British weather being what it is. So I have a little extension table that just slots onto the end. This is really handy if you just need a bit of extra space for chopping or preparing food. And also it's the place where I put my drying mat, so that when you've done the washing up, you've got somewhere to leave your bits to dry off. Right, let's have a look in the cupboard. Safety first, this is where I hang my fire blanket. So this cupboard was originally built for my clothes to go in, but it turned out that it was easier to access all the cooking stuff from this one, so it got swapped around. The top one is pans and bowls. And the second one's got my spare cups, glasses, some spare coffee, and my little stove kettle. Let me show you this because it's the cutest kettle ever. It's made by a company called Ridge Monkey. I think it's fishing equipment originally. I've got a few of their products, so I'll show you those in a moment. But this kettle is ideal just for 1 or 2 cups, and it boils really quickly on the gas stove. And this next gadget is one of my favourite things to cook in. It's from Ridge Monkey and it's the Sandwich Toaster Classic Edition. You can make the best toasted sandwiches in these, and it's so easy to just pop your sandwich in. You can flip it over while you're cooking, and then when you're done you get a yummy sandwich. Behind this are my plates, my chopping boards and my gas stove. This is a camping gas portable gas stove which takes the disposable canisters, and yes, it is blue to match the rest of the things in my van. Probably why I picked it. So the gas canisters just go into the end and then they lock into place, and then when you turn the ignition on it fires up. So if I do need to use this in the van, I make sure I put my silicone mat underneath it, as this is heat proof. I can pop the stove on top of this mat, and then I have a metal splash guard heat shield that goes around it. This protects the curtains and stops everything getting splattered. I also want to show you this quickly. So it's the best thing that I've found for making toast on. I don't know what it's actually called, but I call it a dotty toast maker, so I'm sure if you search for that you would find them. It's the best gadget I've found for making toast so far anyway. Both the dotty toast maker and the heat shield live under the sink, so I'll show you in there next. They both get stored in this bamboo tray where I've also got my cutlery and cooking equipment. My electric kettle also lives in here. I've got some spare water, some more cooking utensils and some cleaning equipment. The kettle's not 12 volt. If I want to use it I need to plug it into my Bluetti power bank, and it takes about 4 minutes to boil, and the kettle is 600 watts, so it doesn't use a lot of power. Next I'll show you my compressor fridge. So this is an Alpical 25 litre fridge. You can use it as a fridge or a freezer, but it doesn't do both at the same time. Also it has a little USB port on the top if you want to charge something. Right, let's pop outside now and I can show you the kitchen from the other side. When you open the sliding door, you've got access to all the back of the kitchen, the toilet and the water. I will show you the toilet in another video and show you how it all works. On the back of the wardrobe, I've got just a few cargo nets and they hold my sandwich bags and my bin bags. So from my USB tap, the pipe goes through the worktop, down into the freshwater container, which is about 8 litres I think. This is held in place with a little strap just to stop it moving. And then from under the sink, the waste pipe goes to a bigger container underneath, I think that's 20 litres. And then wedged in next to that is my electric air pump, and there's the rest of my cleaning equipment. Now if you're going to be doing any cooking in the van, you need to think about ventilation. So I installed a max air fan into the roof. This was really scary, cutting a big hole in the roof. But I'm glad I did because it keeps condensation to a minimum in the van, and if you're cooking it'll extract all the smells and the steam from what you're doing. You can set it to blow air in or suck air out, and it has several different speeds. I love it and I wouldn't be without it now. I also have Hecko wind deflectors on both front windows, as you can crack the front windows then and let a bit of air in that way. I don't use it very often, but I do also have a dining table which is on a swivel arm, so you can swivel it around the kitchen to use as extra workspace or use it as a dining table. And also if I'm cooking outside, I have a Caddy Maxi 2 Pro, so it's got 2 burners. So that's my kitchen, small and functional, but works for me. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And thank you for joining me today for my little kitchen tour. See you again soon.